We are autistic. When we were kids, we couldn't speak. In this world that was not made for us, art is how we thrive.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
Hi, my name is ManMan. I use they, them pronouns.
We are actually autistic artists. Thank you for joining us for our next episode. We are going to talk a little bit about burnout, more specifically today, and overstimulation and what that means and how it can potentially or sometimes inevitably lead to burnout. Um, maybe it would be helpful to just sort of give a definition of what burnout means. Mama, do you want to start with that, or
Yes.
just your understanding of it in
Okay.
your own experience?
So today's episode we're kind of continuing from the last one, which I shared about my travel experience, and we kind of lead with how I've been feeling burnout um, as a result of overstimulation from traveling. So to me, burnout. This is actually a really good question. What is burnout? My interpretation of it is I used to think that I have depression, but actually, when I learned about burnout, is you know what? I actually have trouble really, really like I come up with a like textbook dictionary definition. Maybe I'm gonna pass it back to you before I go on into this circles of like personal stories.
Okay. So for me, in my experience, stepping back from what would get me to this point, when I experience burnout, I essentially am very, very tired and unmotivated, not interested in doing things or being around people. I often feel like I prefer to be inside, and if I'm having very bad burnout, or if it's a period of burnout where I am forced to, um, I guess, have sensory experiences sort of consistently, and I can't remove myself from that. Sometimes it gets to the point where using my eyes, actually seeing things, can be painful, or the movement of something going across my vision, my line of vision, can be very unsettling and painful. Or my sense of hearing is just, I use the word heightened, but it is almost like a deep discomfort. It's more than just like sounds seeming louder, but somebody tossing a can in a bin, my whole body will jump, and then it like seeds this tension, particularly in my neck, that is hard to release. And then just sort of like perpetuates until I'm able to actually take enough time to remove myself from the stimulations of today's society in order to recover from that.
Yep. And thank you. And I'm gonna say that all that you said, I resonate, and also my level of tolerance, my capacity, it's really short, like really a lot. What is the unit? See, this is me experiencing burnout. Like I can't even articulate my capacity to just do regular daily routine activity, like basic communication too. It's really low. Um, that's kind of how and when I experience burnout. Um, Maybe I could start a little bit of like telling some recent experience of how that relate, like the overstimulation that leads to burnout. Um, so last time we mentioned a little bit about my when I the journey of me taking the train back to LA.
Right,
And
so you were in Arizona for some taiko performances and collaborations,
right,
and you chose to take the train instead of the airplane,
right,
and you're coming back on the train as well.
yes, and so um, this is related to me having SM, so like situational mutism, and also like being very sensitive to environment and sound and everything. So basically like a system overload. Um, and so it was actually the day when the mask mandate was voided. That's when I got on the train, and I was on a really crowded train, and majority of the people were in mask. So that's already have a layer of anxiety that okay, like what is the situation that we are currently dealing with? And I was expecting that we'll be masked and protected. Now I'm not, and I was in a really crowded car, and I was assigned a seat that was right by the door that between two cars when people travel, and there's two door that you hit the button and it slam open and shut. And also because it's a night train, the entire car has blue light, but because I was sitting that facing the transition point and it's fluorescent light, so every time when someone opened and shut, this light would just be like doing this in front of my face. Um, and then people surrounding me, like some of them were making phone calls, person next to me sneezing and coughing without a mask. And so that's just some of the list of things. Um, and yeah.
I think that anxiety also can play a big part in leading to burnout, because it kind of can sort of compact on itself. I feel like sometimes I am anxious about the possibility of being anxious, and like when situations are changing or we're outside of our regular routine, that it's very easy for that to sort of get out of control. I think that we should talk some more about this. Let's move over to continue the discussion. If you guys want to join us, please find the information in the link below. I think it's below. I assume it's below.
Yes, or this side, or this side, or below. Okay, let's take a breath together.
Yes, let's breathe.